So your favorite fast food restaurant here in the United States may be closing down very soon. And guess what? They're putting it all on you, saying it's because of you that they are shutting down. These restaurants just aren't profitable because the American people have stopped going in to buy some overpriced fast food. Now, I'm going to explain what restaurants these are, what they are saying, and why everyone says we are underperforming. Underperforming simply means that you are not going into those locations for whatever reason. But I'll break all this down in just a moment. Now, if you enjoy fast food, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, and now let's begin. Look at this right here. It says Jack in the Box closing up to 200 underperforming locations. What to know? Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this to you, but here's what you need to keep in mind. Jack in the Box has been struggling just like every other fast food chain. And it's because prices for the food have increased. The cost of labor has increased. For the leases on many of these buildings have increased. As a result, many of these restaurants are not as profitable as they once were, especially when if the price of the food and the labor, it costs more to produce that product. Guess what? They're putting that additional increase, the price increase, over to you, the consumer. Well, you're not buying. You have stopped because now fast food is more expensive than eating at home. There was a time, there was a place where you could go to McDonald's and it was almost 50 to 60% of what you would spend if you cooked at home. And everybody was saying, well, it better just cook at home. It's better to cook at home because you get fresh, you get healthy. Fast food is fast food. It's unhealthy, it's greasy, it's not what you need. Well, guess what? Fast food now is more expensive. In many cases, it is much more expensive than eating at home. Look at this. It says, Jack in the Box to close underperforming locations. What we know. Overall, Jack in the Box said on April 25th that it plans to close 150 to 200 restaurants. Roughly 80 to 120 of the total restaurants it plans to shutter under the program will close their doors for good before the end of 2025. The rest of the underperforming restaurants on the chopping blocks will stop operations upon respective franchise agreement termination dates. Okay, so essentially what they're saying is there's about 80 to 120 that are underperforming. Those will close by the end of 2025. The other 80 to 120 are going to shut down once the franchise agreement terminates. That's it. But again, Jack in the Box is not the only one shutting down. Look at this one. It says beloved burger chain to permanently close down 79 locations in another fast food slaughter. And there's only 34 left. Now, if you don't know what this is Wahlburger. Okay? And this is founded by Mark Wahlberg and his brother Donnie. Now, Wahlburgers is one of these companies that you see, a lot on the West Coast. They're here and there. Vegas has them, has one. Great burgers. Anyway, they are shutting down. It's not the actual restaurant, the big restaurants. They are shutting down their food court kiosks. That's what they're shutting down. And again, keep this in mind as many of the malls and the food courts are trying to raise prices, trying to raise their rents, their leases. Many of the restaurants don't want to go back. They're leaving. They're getting out of there because it's too expensive. People aren't going into malls anymore. People are not driving around on Friday, Saturday night trying to find the restaurant to go to. They're staying home because that's what they can afford. Look at this one. Another very popular restaurant. Subway is closing hundreds of locations. It says Subway, the nation's largest fast food chain, has been shrinking in size over the last several years and recorded a net decline of 631 stores in 2024. It says the popular sandwich chain ended 2024 with 19,502 restaurants in the U.S., while its website says that it has nearly 37,000 locations in over 100 countries. Keep this in mind. A lot of the issues we're finding with Subway actually comes down to the Subway locations that are inside of gas stations. Okay? Now, if you've probably seen it before. You're driving down the street and you see there's a gas station with the Subway inside of it or right next to it. Those are struggling. Okay? Those ones are struggling for many reasons. Number one, people do not go into a gas station to buy Subway sandwiches. Gas stations are already overpriced. And most people go to a gas station to fill up their tank. That's what they're doing. So this is kind of what we're seeing, where many of the restaurants that are closing down are the ones that are inside of a gas station. That's what is occurring at this time. So keep that in mind. Now, I do want to show you one other thing. Okay, this article right here. It says 9 fast food chains quietly closing stores in the U.S. We're going to go over this. I'm not going to talk in too much depth about these, but just so you understand what stores are shutting down. Starbucks is one of them. There's many reasons why. Starbucks is a little bit expensive for most lower income households, and especially at $6-7 a drink. It's just more than they can afford. They are shutting down, but there's other things behind the scenes as well, having to do with the workers and stuff like that. KFC is another big one. KFC has been getting more and more expensive and at a very quick rate. Most people that even I talk to, friends of mine, they go to KFC on special occasions. That's when they go to celebrate. They go to KFC. I go to KFC just all the time. 'Cause my kids love the chicken tenders or the macaroni or whatever, and the biscuits, and so we'll go there maybe a couple 3 times a month. It's not for a special occasion or anything, but again, what I've seen is it's getting more expensive. BurgerFi is another one. Okay, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in September 2024. Steak and Shake, another one. I don't know the last time I've even been there. Hardee's, Carl's Jr., things like that. They're shutting locations. Noodles and Company, never been to this one, says despite a reported improvement in customer satisfaction, Noodles and Company isn't without its challenges. The fast casual company with the menu focused on pasta and noodle dishes faced a closure of nearly 20 locations of summer 2024, many of which were suffering from low sales and contributed to a total of $2 million loss combined. Pizza Hut, another one. Their market share has been dropping. Domino's is the big one. Pizza Hut is seen as fairly expensive. Even when I talk to friends and family members of mine, they say they only go to Pizza Hut on special occasions. They go to Domino's. They go to Little Caesars if they want a pizza. Another one, Popeyes. Popeyes, it says right here, the chain's comparable sales in the U.S. decreased by nearly 4% during the third quarter. Restaurant Brands International CEO Josh Kobza revealed during an earnings call in November of 2024 that said Popeyes net restaurant sales were up 3.6% and system-wide sales decreased 0.8% that same quarter. What you need to keep in mind with Popeyes is they got a huge boost when they had their chicken sandwich, the viral chicken sandwich that everybody wanted to go to Popeyes. Well, I've been to Popeyes. I've tried their chicken sandwich. Now, not so great. And then, last one, Papa John's. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these restaurants aren't going to just shut down and be wiped off the face of the earth, but they are going to close certain locations. So keep that in mind if you are a lover of Jack in the Box, if you like Wahlburgers, Subway, you like any of these restaurants I just showed you, there could be one that's shutting down in your city. So just be aware of that. And if you want to really go and eat their food, go. Because again, time's limited for a lot of these locations simply because the American people don't want to keep paying these higher prices for food that is unhealthy, and it takes more time to go and get than they could actually make it right there in their own home. So we'll see what happens, but that's what we know as of this morning. So again, Thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.